Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at this. This is a STEN MKII. Now this is a deactivated example of a STEN MKII. Good luck to you trying to license a live example of a STEN MKII. But anyway, digress. Right, we'll take a look at this now. Now, what is a STEN MKII? This is a World War II British and Commonwealth submachine gun. These went into production in 1940. 1940, and late 1940, early 1941. The reason being, a lot of small arms were brought by the BEF, or the British Expeditionary Force, to France, were lost at the evacuation of Dunkirk. The British, like everybody else, realised that World War II was going to be a very, very different war to World War I. It was far more mobile, and submachine guns were kind of coming into their own for street fighting and for capturing villages, towns, and close quarter combat, stuff like that. The British were using model 1928 Thompsons. They were buying from the United States. Then after 1941, the United States got involved in the Second World War. It no longer could supply everybody with Thompson submachine guns. They needed them for themselves, and even at that, the Thompson's a very labour-intensive submachine gun to manufacture. So the Americans also moved to a much simplified stamped receiver submachine gun, and that's what this is. It's a tubular stamped receiver submachine gun. Very cheap, very nasty. The British could make these for the equivalent of $11, as opposed to a Thompson submachine gun, which was setting back $200 a piece. Quite a lot of money for the time. Now, this didn't just come out of the ether. These not the first side loading submachine gun like this. This is a derivative of what came before it. Was the Lanchester submachine gun, but the Lanchester again was quite difficult to manufacture. It was a milled receiver as opposed to a stamped receiver. It was expensive. It was difficult to manufacture and time consuming and heavy and everything else. They needed something quick. They needed something quick, and they needed it to work. It didn't need to be perfect. Didn't need to be the best going. They needed it to be good enough. And the STEN fit that bill completely. It was good enough. Not the most accurate, didn't have to be. They made these by the tens of thousands, and they were dropped. Not just for British and Commonwealth forces, but they were also made to be dropped to insurgent forces in mainland Europe, in France and Czechoslovakia and Poland and anywhere else they were needed. So they were made not in 45 ACP, that the submachine guns that the British were using at the time, the Thompson, but they were made in 9x19. That's the same ammunition that the Germans were using in their MP40s and MP38s. So could utilise captured ammunition. So look at this now. We'll take a closer look. This one is marked serial number 4811. I don't see a date on it. Now if we look here, we see very, very, very crude welds. Operates like this. Is the mag release here. Press it down, comes out. Now this bolt will go back and forward, but the bolt's been chopped. So, oh, hang on. That's the safety there. Yeah, I'll show you this. Safety, you bring it back a little bit and press it out through a little hole in the receiver. If you want to activate it, pull it back out again. Right, back and forward like so. You see the front part of the bolt is kind of welded in place, and it's cut in half lengthwise. It's cut along here and welded into this place, so this is never gonna shoot again. The barrel's been kind of chopped and welded and filled and all that kind of stuff as well, and the bolt's been cut off along here. But for a display, it works very well. I often bring this model with me to reenactment events and talk to the public about them, and they ask lots of questions. Of course, I get the odd smart aleck that's only too happy to point out that my magazine, Mark II 884, doesn't match the submachine gun. That's mismatched. Oh, your submachine gun's mismatched. Yeah, well, my matching one I left at home because I thought you were bringing your matching one with you. To which they say, well, I don't have one. To which I say, well, shut up then. Did I digress again? Yeah, I did. Anyway, we'll crack on about this. This, saw service everywhere. Not just in World War II, but it saw service with the British in the Malayan emergency, in the Indonesian uprising, any place kind of into the late 40s or 50s that were seeking independence from Britain. Also used in the Arab-Israeli war in the late 40s into the 50s, and used here in Ireland by the RUC in the beef specials against the IRA in their border campaign in the 50s. So yeah, an interesting piece that was made for a specific purpose, but it saw life after that purpose was over, because it was quite a good design, designed by two guys, Shepherd and Turpin. That's where the name comes from. STEN, Shepherd, Turpin, made in Royal Armament Factory in Enfield. So STEN, Shepherd, Turpin, Enfield. Right, thanks very much for watching, and we hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, leave comments down below, and they all help the algorithm, and we'll talk to you again soon.